So one of the most exciting week in college football, guys. I'm talking about rivalry week. Yes, some of your favorite teams, whether it's in state or out of state, go up against each other. Now, as you can see behind me here, we got the Florida Gators versus the Florida State Seminoles. This game is a home game for the Florida Gators. Florida Gators are a 2-point favorite in this one. Both teams have been terrible, absolutely trash pursuit this year. Yes, both teams are sitting at 5-6. So a win for the Gators means bowl eligibility. A win for the Florida State Seminole means bowl eligibility. A loss for either teams means stay your butt at home. Plain and simply, you're not going to a bowl game. Somebody, and I do mean somebody, on one of these two teams are going to be eating a cereal out of a cup. Not a bowl, a cup. So this game got a lot of implications now. Florida Gators right now, absolutely terrible. Lost to Missouri 24-21 in overtime, their last game, eventually leading to the firing of Dan Mullen. Yes, Florida goes into this game without a head coach. So, as you know, Florida recently has fired their head coach and defensive coordinator and offensive line coach. So Florida State here might actually have a chance to win this game. Now going into the season, nobody would pick Florida State. Nobody saw this coming. I mean, a lot of guys like myself predicted Florida to lose a couple games, but not 6. I was saying that this year they probably would go 8-4, and I was wrong. They actually worse than I thought they were. Now, Florida State, on the other hand, started off pretty rough, 0-4 with a loss to an FCS school, JSU. JSU, as you guys know, took the opportunity to plant their flag in the middle of Florida State field to show them that they owned Oak Camp Stadium. And Florida State has been renting that stadium from JSU ever since. You know, that's tough. But this game right here, home game for the Gators. Not quite sure, what the turnout's going to be. Are the Florida fans going to show up? I mean, normally there's nothing to do in Gainesville, so who knows? They might show up for this game. I know Florida State fans will. They have a little momentum going, and between these two teams, there's a thing called moral victory. So one of them will be happy with the outcome of it. But nonetheless, rivalry week, Florida versus Florida State. We're going to keep an eye on this one and see how it goes. Battle of the bowl eligible. Oh, man. Who's going to get that last roll of toilet paper? This is what it's all about here. All right. So here we have next up, probably game of the week. Probably game of the whole college football season right now. As of right now, recording this video, they have not updated the college football rankings. As you guys know, it's on a Tuesday night around 7:30, and you'll get the rankings, new rankings. Ohio State is currently sitting at number 4. They just got done beating the bejesus out of Michigan State, and Michigan is up next on the chopping block. So, Michigan versus Ohio State. Michigan and Ohio State, this could determine whether or not Ohio State is in the playoff. If Michigan can get this done, then Ohio State would basically kick rocks and probably end up with a New Year's Six bowl or some other bowl game. Who knows? But this game has a lot of implications into it. Both teams comes into this one at 10-1. So basically somebody's about to end somebody's season. It is what it is. Big Ten championships and all that great stuff is up for grabs. So Michigan comes into this one, like I said, college football rankings has not been updated, so they come into this one ranked at number 6. So number 4 versus number 6, and when we see the shakeup, we do believe that Ohio State will move up from 4 to possibly the number 2 team in the country, but we'll see how that rolls. But Michigan at home, yes, they're an underdog at home by 8 points. 8 points is the line here, so they're an underdog by 8. Ohio State quarterback Stride coming into this game, a hell of a performance. I mean, 6 touchdowns, against Michigan State. He's a Heisman candidate, so this definitely is going to be a game to watch to see if he could actually boost those stats to get into, the Heisman finalists, I guess. This game, probably game of the year right now. Probably game of rivalry, the one to look out for. One of them by the end of each other's season. That's all I can say. Let's move on from this game. As you guys know, some of these games are pretty. Here we go. The one to talk about now. Auburn this season is no world beater. They're sitting at 6-5. They are at home in this game, and they are a huge underdog at home in this game. Like 19.5 points to be exact. Alabama is being picked to win this game. I don't doubt that Alabama will win it, but this is the Iron Bowl you're talking about, and we have seen some major upset in this game, especially at Auburn. So another game here with some great implications. As of right now, Alabama is sitting at number 2 in the country, right behind Georgia. And basically, Alabama win this game, they'll most likely stay in the top 4. I do believe Ohio State will jump them after their victory over Michigan State. So I do believe Alabama stays in the top 4 when the college football rankings drop. But this game right here, if Auburn was to pull the upset, then Alabama would most likely be taken out of the picture when it comes to the college football, rankings. Now, tough scenario. Let's just say Alabama goes out, win this game, and lose to Georgia in the SEC championship. Does Alabama make it into the playoffs with all the chaos going on around with Cincinnati, Notre Dame, and other teams trying to get that last push to get in there? Now, let's just say Auburn does beat Alabama, but Alabama goes on to beat Georgia in the SEC championship. Can a 2-loss Alabama team make it into the playoffs for the first time? It's tough. Now, Auburn, Heisman Trophy candidate also here, 2 to be exact, 2. They're talking about Will Anderson, defensive lineman, and of course their stellar quarterback, Bryce Young, the young guy, the freshman coming in right now. He's on Heisman watch also, just like Stride of Ohio State. This could be a statement game for him if he could get it done, on the big stage, the Iron Bowl, whatever. Listen, Alabama, they're vulnerable. We saw lesser teams put up a good fight against them. LSU, the Florida Gators, and you see where both of those programs are right now. We did see Texas A&M, who's more on the upside, but still a little struggle, beat Alabama. We saw Arkansas go toe-to-toe with them and lose by 7. So Alabama is not demolishing teams like they would in the past or winning convincingly to where you say, oh man, there's no way in hell Auburn can get it done. So will Alabama win? Will Auburn win? Let me know in the comment section. Will Florida State beat Florida, or will Florida beat Florida State without any head coach or pretty much any leadership? Also, Miami don't really have what's the word for? I don't know the word for it. We don't really have a rival. This week, we end up playing Duke. Now, this game will be at Duke, and also, Miami is a 21-point favorite in that game. So, pretty much should be a cakewalk win for Miami. Now, I'm not saying that will happen, but, most likely it will. Tyler Van Dyne is on a roll. ACC record, 5 games, 300 plus yards, 3 touchdowns, tied with Jameis Winston of Florida State. And during the game against Duke, he could actually go ahead and break that record and go for 6 straight games. And depending on the bowl game, whoever we play, he could go over the top and even go for 7. So that's going to be a game to watch if you're a Miami Hurricane fan, to see if, Tyler Van Dyke can get these accolades. And also, not to mention, Charleston Rambo and Mike Harley, two of Miami's best receivers that right now are going to try to put their name in the record book. Charleston Rambo right now is sitting at 1,002 yards on the season, first since 2013, Allen Hurts. So, congratulations to Charleston Rambo. He's also a couple catches away from putting himself in the Miami Hurricanes history book for most receptions in the season. I think he's like 3 catches away, so we should be watching to see that happen. Some great things going on at the University of Miami. Hopefully it's an easy win. Miami can finish the season at 7-5 and go on to win the bowl game, make it 8-5, and that'll be pretty much the wrap of it now. Bowl selection, which team will Miami end up playing, which bowl will they end up playing. We'll talk about that in another video. T2Y, like, share, subscribe. Rivalry week should be intense, should be crazy. So make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. We will talk about these games, not just Miami, but college football in general, every Sunday to wrap it up, to give you guys recaps and breakdown of what happened over the week. So Florida State versus Florida, Alabama versus Auburn, Ohio State versus Michigan. Those are our games that we're going to be paying full attention to this weekend. Like, share, subscribe. T2Y, and I'm out.